Lee, first of all, congratulations. The Academy's retained its Category 1 status. It's a very significant moment for the club and the Academy.
Yes, we're all delighted to maintain Cat 1 status. It's a huge achievement for the club to get it a second time round. 3 years ago we achieved it for the first time when the new EPPP rules came out in terms of the categorisations across the country, and to get it the first time was highly difficult, and it's magnificent and superb that we'd be able to maintain that and push that forward now.
Of course, all the sort of hoops you had to jump through, so to speak, first time round. Well, I mean, the goalposts have got, they've changed even since then. It's become a bit more difficult task to retain it.
Yeah, of course, it's the Academy is in the elite of the country. When the new criteria came out sort of 4 years ago, if you were to be as a Category 1 club, you'd be certainly in the Premier League, if you like, of youth football in that category of sort of 24 clubs, which it was up to the last audit. So, it's for us to maintain it again, and now it's another progression on from there, because of course with elite football, elite sport, year on year, week on week, the boundaries are being pushed. It becomes harder to stay with that pack. But we've done that, and we've excelled in that. So, it is an opportunity for us now to continue the great work that's been done over a number of years within the club's academy, and move that forward significantly.
Some of our fans probably don't know actually what goes into making an academy a Category 1. I mean, maybe tell us a little bit about the kind of things you get assessed on, because it's pretty broad spectrum, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's top to bottom sort of audit of an organisation in any business. It's very detailed. It really, the audit itself, really lasts a whole season, if you like. You have to put in an element of core conditions at the start to show that you are ready to enter into another audit, and then you have to go through the audit, which is around 5 or 6 days, and it covers the whole organisation from coaching, of course, is a major element in it, education, which is goes hand in hand with the coaching side of it, and then you have the welfare, you have the operations, you have the finance. The logistics of an academy is huge. You have over 300 boys within the system. It has to cover every facet of their development. So it's a very, very broad audit, which has the player at the centre of it, obviously, of course, because that's what we're all here for. So it's top to bottom. You have an audit tool which would be over hundreds of questions that you have to answer with evidence, and then you have to show your philosophy and what you do, and obviously your productivity in terms of players that are in your first team and are developing outside of your first team after they've moved on, if that makes sense. So it's a big job, yeah.
And of course, a majority of the clubs that have Category 1 status are what you call pretty big hitters in English football, really. A lot of the Premier League clubs, a lot of the ones who have pretty established at that level, and they've got plenty of money to slosh about, really, whereas we're probably having to punch above our weight a little bit. It's a lot to do with the people that are involved.
Yeah, of course. We one of the great things about being a Category 1 club is the games programme. The games programme allows us to play against Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Everton. You could go on, all established, clubs that are renowned across the world, let alone England or Europe. We're talking world here. So, we're in with the big boys, but we certainly hold our own within that. The last 3 years has seen us progress on in lots of different ways, and it sees us compete with these clubs and teams week in, week out. And that can only make us better as staff, and it can only make the players better in their development too. So for sure, you're in the elite of the elite in this country, and if not, Europe and the world. So big hitters that you're playing with.
I mean, that's obviously the games programme that you mentioned there is one of the big benefits, and other than being a title, what are the other kind of things that come along with being a Cat 1 club? I know there's a bit of match funding and things like that. So.
Yeah, of course, the club will get an element of funding towards the club's budget. It is, as I say, the games programme is crucial for that. But then it's, your development of your staff. There's lots of CPDs, there's lots of workshops with the clubs within the Category 1 that will come together and work together to improve the standard of football in England on and off the pitch. So there's lots of ideas. There's a fraternity of coaches that are working together to improve the game across the board. So, there's numerous elements of reward for being Cat 1. Of course, the image and being a Cat 1 club, Cat 1 Academy will help the club for the image perspective too, So lots of reward for it, and but of course, as I said, the games programme is key, because you're in tournaments, you're in week in, week out games against all the big players in the country.
Of course, I think the last audit was 3 years ago, and how would you say that the academy here has kind of progressed and changed in that time?
Well, I think EPPP was at the time it came out, sort of 5 years ago, in terms of what we needed to do to achieve it, was quite a big ask for us. But under the guidance of Eamon Dolan and the leadership of Eamon, we really took it by the scruff of the neck. And we've got there again under Eamon this time. So, the progress that we've made is that the organisation is run much better. We understand it a lot more now. The staff have improved, the players have improved. I think we've always, over this last little period of time, have had success with players making our first team and moving on from our first team. We've got a number of players that have come from our academy that are playing currently in the European Championships, that have come from Reading Football Club. So that's fantastic. We've won tournaments. The under-21s have won the fantastic under-21 Cup here against Manchester City 3 years ago. The under-14s won at Wembley against Chelsea. The under-10s have only a couple of weeks ago won the national tournament. So from that perspective, winning tournaments, we've done that we've never really done before. We continue to produce players available for the managers to select from, we long may that continue, and that hard work needs to stay. We want to be winning trophies to the best ability we can, but of course the be all and end all is players in the first team. That's all that matters. But if we can do both in the right way, in the right philosophy, then that's only going to put, we think, our young players having a holistic approach to their development in a good place when the manager comes knocking and says, listen, we need another Josh Barrett or whatever, that Aaron Tish-Bowler, Jordan Abita, Jake Cooper, that have sort of come into the scene, Rob Dickey sort of last season. So we've got to do that. It's fair to say also that the club's academy here is relatively, it's a baby really, relatively to a lot of clubs in the country. So we've got some good success going. We must work hard to maintain that.
You've mentioned a few names there really that are kind of become pretty established first team players, and I think that's probably where a lot of our fans they see the end products of the academy a lot of the time, and not necessarily what goes on in the back end, but if we can keep producing those end products, that's a huge element.
Yeah, of course. As I said, the most important thing is players available that are good enough for the manager when he wants them. That's our job to do, and different types too. So we continue to work hard to do that. We would hope that we've got players available for the manager to select from going forward, and we just have to keep working behind the scenes with the younger players, because before you know it, they become available for the manager at a certain age. So it's important that we keep them foundations below ticking and turning, and when they're ready, they become ready. You don't put too much pressure on them, and you don't put any pressure on them. You've got to get the balance right. So the staff are incredible here at this club. The work that they put in to bring these young players through is a credit to them and the town and everybody. It's the academy here is very much at the heart and the club's support towards the academy is second to none. You know, so it's great, and we love working for this club. It's a fantastic club.
On a personal level too, it must be really exciting because you see the sort of boys under 14s, under 12s or whatever, and when seeing those players and knowing full well that they've got potential and they can go places, and it's a bit of a kind of like hidden gem, I guess. You get to see it well before a lot of other people. You must be really relish kind of seeing players progress and seeing little improvements in their game, and know that they're kind of getting physically stronger, or that little step by step they're getting closer to the first team.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I love watching our players playing our first team. Why wouldn't I? I also love just as much watching a little under 9 play, and showing us what he can do. That's the beauty of this place. It's not that it's just about when they get here. It's that process leading up to it, and you look at their developments, their ups and downs, the good times, the bad times. The support that you've got to give them on and off the pitch. So, yeah, of course, it's great to see that pathway for the players, and again, we're very lucky that the pathway's been established here, and the door's been knocked down, that young players at Reading get a chance if they're good enough, and the manager requires them. So, as I said, our job is to continue that trend.
That's a really important point in any academy, I guess, is that if you can show a pathway and you can say with evidence that there is a path from academy to the first team, then you stand a chance, because without kind of picking out clubs individually, I bet a lot of the clubs that are Cat 1, they can't show that because they're buying players from all over Europe and the world, and actually being in an academy in one of the biggest clubs probably means you're not going to have to play your football elsewhere.
Yeah, I think I can only speak for us that's evident here. But it's only evident because of the work that's put in, and the quality and the philosophies in place for these young players to grow and develop. The players have to be good enough. You can't just give young players a chance if they're not ready. So for us, that's always been in our DNA at the club here. I watch the games all the time, and there's no doubt in every football club in the country there's talent, and there's good young players, and they do just need that chance at times. But for sure, the standard of football is developing in this country, and I think the EPPP has really kind of helped that, and got certainly our house in order to make sure that we've got a real vision and an understanding of what we're doing, and it's not just a bit of a lucky guess.
The last thing I wanted to mention, Lee, and it's something you've kind of mentioned a few times throughout the answers you've given us here, is that it's so heavily reliant on the people that work at the academy to kind of make these steps, whether it's achieving the Category 1 status, or whether it's getting players into the team, or whatever it is. It's all about the people who work at the club. Yeah,
without a doubt. Listen, we're a team. I'm lucky enough to work alongside Eamon Dolan, and there's no one better than him. He's the best, for sure. And I've had the privilege to work alongside him and learn a lot from him. So it enables me to sit here today and speak on his behalf, and know that for him it's all about team. That's not the team on the field, but that's the whole team: the players, the backroom staff, the drivers that drive the players around, the education, the guys that cook the food for the players, the kit men. We're all in it together, and we have that team ethos. It can take us anywhere, and it has taken us into some great places. So the staff are next to none. Their commitment, desire for this football club is phenomenal, and I'm very humbled to work with them, and they inspire me every day to improve, because they make me that way, and they make us that way, because they want to get better and they want to get our young players better. So without the quality that Eamon is put together, the team that he's put together, we probably wouldn't be, and the club wouldn't be lucky enough to have the academy that we have, and the academy continues to grow in that philosophy and those values.
Well, Lee, thank you for your time, and congratulations one more time on the achievement.
Thank you very much.